Get that fucking trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another fucking friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. I have an email copywriting badass rule called my 10-minute pint of beer rule. My 10-minute pint of beer copywriting rule. And it applies to writing simple plain text emails. It's something that has worked for me for the last 20 years, writing weekly, sometimes in the insurance business, the barbershop business, the hockey business, writing weekly emails, sometimes Tuesdays and Thursdays, double, 2 emails a week, and then graduating into daily emails, 365, in the coaching and consulting space. I send an email every day with these videos. About 400 videos per year to my list, as you know better than anybody. If you're not on my video email list, go to michaelmclean.coach. michaelmclean.coach, put in your first name and email. You will receive a righteous email and video from me every single day. 365 every single day. This is the power of email. So, what is my 10-minute pint of beer email writing rule? Basically, I sit down and I set a timer for 10 minutes. This is the secret for you. The work has got to fill the space. Time is a vacuum. So because time is a vacuum, you need to set a timer for 10 minutes when you write your email. And remember, you're going to get better and better at this. You're going to be awful at the beginning. You're going to be clumsy. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. You can do hard things. You do 30 of these, 50 of these this year. You're going to start out poorly. You're going to stumble. You're going to crawl. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be frustrated. And then you're gradually going to become okay. Then you're going to become mediocre at writing emails. Then you're going to become average. Then you're gradually going to become ordinary. And then all of a sudden, after writing, 52 of these babies, all of a sudden you're good. And then all of a sudden you write some more each week. You become very good. And then very good to excellent. And then now you're becoming great at your craft after a couple of years. And then, of course, after 2 years, if you do something all the time, you become outstanding at it. World-class mastery, I call it. So, the 10 minutes rule is this. You set your timer, you sit down in an undistracted place, no technology. I use one of those time timers I bought, one of those big timers. I don't use a cell phone. I don't want that stuff around me when I'm writing. So I set the timer. You can use your watch, you can use a clock on the wall, and you give yourself 10 minutes. That's it, that's all. You have 10 minutes to write this email to your list from start to finish. And this cuts through all the BS, all the throat clearing, all the cliches, all the jumbo talk, I call it, throat clearing. all the stuff that doesn't need to be in there, and you sit down and you write a plain text email. No images, no photos, no extra links, nothing fancy whatsoever. So the secret here is you have 10 minutes. So you sit down, and the first thing I do is write the person's name, Dear Bill, Dear Karen. And then I write the email in 10 minutes, the same amount of time it would take to drink an ice cold pint of beer, or in my case, takes 10 minutes to drink a piping hot cup of coffee. Your choice. I don't drink alcohol, so coffee for me. If you drink beer, beer for you. So, 10 minutes. Now the secret with these emails, my 10-minute pint of beer email writing rule, is that you need to write to a friend. It's exactly like you're sitting across from a friend and you're enjoying that ice cold pint of beer. Or you're sitting across from a good friend and you're enjoying that piping hot cup of coffee. 10 minutes at a coffee house, 10 minutes at a tavern, 10 minutes at a pub. That's the mentality. And when the time is up, the time is up. So I really struggled doing this in 10 minutes at the beginning, but the discipline of writing fast was something that became very valuable. Now I can write these emails in 5 minutes, but at the start, I pushed myself to write in 10. I could do it, but it really pushed me out of my comfort zone, which is what you want. You want this to be hard. You want this to be difficult. There's no screwing around with 10 minutes. You set the timer and boom, you get to work. So you write a short email. That's the secret. Nobody wants your next novel. Nobody wants, to read an email. They're on their smartphone. So I like mine to be above the fold, everything on the main screen, so they do not even have to scroll. They do not even have to scroll. I write exceptions. Sometimes I'll write a long email, but most of the time, just write a tight, short email that's above the fold so they don't have to scroll. And that's what you would write to a friend most of the time. You might write a really long email to a friend sometime, and that's fine. But the majority of the time, I like to write a short, crisp email in 10 minutes to a friend. And that's my writing mentality. I don't have any of this stuff like cliches, I hope this finds you well, or I don't talk, in the third person in terms of, I write one-to-one. I, you. I write like I'm speaking to one single person, which I am. My email list has thousands and thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs, small business owners, marketers, consultants, and copywriters. So some people would think, Michael, you write an email every day to thousands and thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs. But my mentality is the opposite of that. I write one single email personally to all the thousands of people on that. That's what my mentality is. I'm sending thousands and thousands of emails one at a time, personally, just because the software sends it, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's all about that personal one-on-one writing. So that's the mentality that you have to think about. You have to say to yourself, okay, I'm writing to a person one-on-one. So with that said, very important that you set the timer for 10 minutes, and then the first line needs to be short and punchy, something that grabs their attention. So I'll use my Father's Day email as an example. Right off the bat, it's a very simple one-to-one. It's Dear John or Dear Karen, and then immediately I want it to send you a short note to wish you a happy Father's Day. Period. I want it to send you a short note, not email, to wish you a happy Father's Day weekend or Father's Day, whatever you want, period. That's the first line. And then the second line can be something along the lines of a little tiny short story about your dad, something that's, personal, whether your dad is still living or your dad is no longer here. You can adjust to that. My second line is something like, Krista, Emery, and I are heading out to my mom and dad's on Sunday for a barbecue and a swim in the pool. Third line, I hope you have some time with family to relax this weekend and celebrate Father's Day. And then I sign it, take care, Michael. That's it. And then the PS, always the PS is my upsell. I don't send an email unless I'm selling something. I'm not running a charity, I'm not running a soup kitchen, and I'm not running a not-for-profit. Get that shit out of your mind about, well, I'm going to nurture the relationship, I'm going to become a friend, I'm not going to sell. If you have a product you don't believe in, find something else to sell. I have stuff for sale because my stuff changes lives. My insurance policies change lives. Like if I've always had products that I believe in, so I'm an unabashed, unapologetic salesman. I'm not going to go tinkering around trying to just build rapport and not sell. The reason I'm in this business is to sell products that help people. I can't help people if they don't buy my book. I can't help people if they don't subscribe to my newsletter. I can't help people if they don't join my mastermind. So I'm not going to hide in the corner. I'm not going to pull my punches. Every email I send has a PS that sells. If they don't want to buy it, they don't buy it. But we're in the business of selling. So the PS is something as simple as, if I or anyone else can be of service to you, please let me know. And then I include the phone number and my email. So they have two ways to respond, by email or they could call the office. And that's where you're going to get your prospects and your referrals. People are going to reply to the email. A lot of people are just going to say thank you, same to you. And you're going to get a handful of people that ask about whatever the product is. So a whole bunch of positive replies. You want to shoot for 1% unsubscribe. You want to always be cleaning your list. You get a bunch of unsubscribes. That's what you want. Those are non-buyers. Those are non-clients. Get them off your list. Always be curating your list. And then after that, you'll have a handful of prospects or clients that need attention. They want to buy something. And then you need to follow up, have your sales team follow up, whatever you do, and close those sales down. It's really that simple. You got to be able to write that email in 10 minutes. And I'm going to tell you right now, a 10-minute pint of beer email, a 10-minute cup of coffee email is going to be a hell of a lot better, a hell of a lot more authentic than the novel you're trying to write if you're doing this for the first time. That's the number one mistake I see. Is it's like the email came from a corporation, a faceless, mindless, stale and dull and boring corporation. That's not what we want. You're the face of the business. I'm in the Michael McLean business. Okay, I was never in the hockey business. I was never in the barbershop business. I was never in the insurance business. I was always in the Michael McLean business. So my emails are written from Michael McLean to you, period. And I give myself 10 minutes, and when the 10 minutes is over, that's it. No more messing around, no more trying to scrub it and make it better. It's an email. It's not a jewel. It's not a diamond. It doesn't need to be polished to death. If you were sending an email, quick email to your brother or your sister or a good friend of yours, what would it be like? It would be short. It would be crisp. It would be written in the first person, and it would have a subject line about whatever it is. Remember, that subject line is huge. You can test each year. I've used Happy Father's Day. No exclamation mark. You don't want that. You're not a cheerleader. You're their friend. I've also used ones that were more successful. I tested throughout the years. I used my dad as the subject line. I used dad as the subject line. I tested my father as the subject line. And of course, I tested Happy Father's Day with the person's name. Happy Father's Day, Ted. Happy Father's Day, Catherine. Whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Just do it. Get it out. So that's my 10-minute pint of beer email writing rule. Nothing more powerful than these short and sweet plain text 10-minute emails. And this is what I'm teaching inside of my Email Millions Mastermind Coaching Program. I teach you how to sit down once a week for 10 minutes. You got to have 10 minutes. If you don't have 10 minutes, this is not for you. And I do a live training once a month for 2 hours. You also have to be able to attend a live training once a month, or at least watch the recordings. And I literally teach you how to write a 10-minute email, a pint of beer or a cup of coffee email every week that literally floods your business, literally an avalanche of leads, referrals, and buyers, especially as your list gets bigger and better, full of buyers. I teach you the software to buy. I hold your hand on, I write the emails for you the first year. I'm going to write 52 emails for you in the first year. I tell you, I give you copywriting coaching on how to write them. You just personalize them. I teach you when to send them, what day to send them, what time to send them. And I give you all the ideas for an entire year. And you can write some of your own, but you can also use mine as templates if you wish, if you're advanced and you're one of those people that wants to send more than one per week. So I also walk you through how to different PSs for upselling and all the different things. And I teach you how to build your list when you start at zero. All my companies, barbershop, insurance company, hockey team, coaching and consulting, I started at ground zero like you. I didn't have I had my mom's email in there, my dad's. I had my brother's email in there. I think the first email I ever sent, I had 7 recipients and my dad unsubscribed. So don't feel bad about yourself. I went from 0 to 62,000 emails in the insurance business. Only took me 17 years. I was an overnight success in the email marketing business. Only took me 17 years to build that list. Every day capturing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails. 17 glorious years. Drip, drip, drip. Pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock. And it's amazing what you can do when you show up every single day. So that's my pro tip for today. Set the timer, sit your butt down in the chair, put your fingers on the key, shut off all the distractions, and write an email to your friend. Write an email to your friend in the time it would take you to drink an ice cold pint of beer or drink a piping hot cup of coffee, and you will be very, very pleased with how good you get at this over the next year. If you're interested in joining my Email Millions Mastermind, I'm going to open up another 5 spots this month. You need to sign up now. It's the link is below. The website is emailmillions.coach. Emailmillions.coach. And there's going to be 5 spots. We meet once a month. I write 52 emails for you. There's more details at emailmillions.coach. The honey that brings in the money. Email, the honey that brings in the money, and it's the 8th wonder of the marketing world. Let me show you personally my 10-minute pint of draft email writing rule. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. Emailmillions.coach. Remember to do what we do. You get home tonight, make sure you hug your wife and your children. Make sure they hear your voice if they're away. Make sure you tell them something that you love and respect about them. Leave them notes. Date your wife. Tell her things that you respect and love about her. Send her texts, emails, surprise her, show up differently. And when you walk in that home at 5 p.m. tonight or 6 p.m., be there mentally. A king is mentally present. A champion is mentally present. Lock the iPhone away and show up as a real man. There for your queen, there for your children, your teenagers, there mentally for your family. You have enough hours in the day that you don't need that horse shit in your home after 6 p.m. Who are you fooling? All it is addiction. It's not business. It's just busy work. Do your job, like Buddy Ryan says. Do your job during the day. Do your job during the day. Focused on the important. Get rid of the social media. Get rid of the politics. Get rid of the news. Get rid of the professional sports. Get rid of that stuff, and you'll have all the time you want. It's not that you don't have time. It's that you're pissing away your time with things that do not matter at all. At all. That score won't matter in the end. That game won't matter at all in the end. What the hell creepy Joe Biden is doing won't matter at all in the end. What's happening in the world news, it's not accurate. It's not going to matter. What Elon Musk is saying on Twitter isn't going to matter. What's going to matter is whether you're forgotten 15 minutes after you die or you're remembered. Legacy. You need to be spending your time on things that will outlive your human life. And if not, you're going to be forgotten. You will be forgotten 15 minutes after your death by anybody that's not in your immediate family. That is not a life of significance. That is a quiet desperation life. Spend your time on things that build your legacy. Spend time on living a life of significance. That's what we're after. Significance. No service, no success. No success, no significance. No significance, no legacy. You will be forgotten. Your great-grandchildren won't even know your name. And your great-great-great-grandchildren have no clue. They won't know your business. They won't know anything about you unless you serve others, unless you show up as a king in your home and you make a difference in people's lives. No service, no success. No service, no significance. No significance, no legacy. Do things, do big things and important things, and stop doing all the other nonsense. And show up every night when you walk through that door. Show up as the best version of yourself. and make sure that you're leading your family. Leading your family. The king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. Lead your family. Ask them to go for a walk at night. Send them notes. Talk about good news. Tell them stories at the dinner table. Lead. 2 words that changed my life. Email millions.coach. 2 words that can change your life. Be relentless.